Hey, it's Alan. I'm 6 months on T, so I want to do an update video. Now, I had thought about maybe showing pictures for comparison purposes or something fancy like that, but since, as I just said in my previous video, I had just dealt this week with having a car accident and getting a new car, so I'm not gonna be doing any fancy videos till I get much more energy. So this will just be kind of basic. So let's just talk about changes. Well, first, I can just start off by saying that I've been passing or being read as male 100% of the time. Like, I exclusively use public men's restrooms rather than women's. Oh my god, it's been a really long time since I've used women's, thank god. And I've never had any problem in the men's restroom, which is good. So I feel somewhat relaxed in the men's restrooms. It's really nice. Way more relaxed than I ever felt in the women's. And, you know, strangers, like people in shops or whatever, view me as a guy. Like, before I forget, I should mention a funny thing about that. So, the other day, I was shopping in a Lucky brand store, getting jeans, which was a splurge. I'd been wanting to do that for a year. They're having a sale, which was nice. So, I went in and I was looking around, and this pretty young guy who was working there, who was probably younger than me. I mean, I'm 32. He was like, "Hey, buddy, can I help you?" I enjoy being called buddy. It just makes me feel really young, which is okay. And then a few minutes later, I noticed another guy came in, a man probably around 40 or in his 40s, wearing a suit, and the sales guy said, like, "Hey, boss, how's it going?" So I thought it was funny that he called him boss and me buddy. But yeah, I do tend to be viewed as a very young man. People call me young man. So I'm frustrated with that. Sometimes it's just kind of funny and innocuous, but sometimes it's really frustrating because I feel like I kind of get less respect. Um, I am kind of starting to notice that women, in particular, treat me with more disrespect and more disdain, and maybe more scorn, than what I'm used to before transitioning. Like, for example, I was buying a microwave at Sears because my microwave got broken in a power surge. I've had a lot of crap like get broken. I mean, I just had a car accident. It's crazy. It sucks. But I was buying a new microwave, and I had the microwave in the cart, like, on its side, because that's the only way it would fit in a cart. And I went up to the register, and the sales lady, who is in her 50s or 60s, before saying anything else, was like, "What are you doing with the microwave?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "What are you doing with the microwave?" I was like, I want to buy it. And she's like, "Don't put it on its side. Haven't you ever heard? You're not supposed to put it on its side. Like, that'll make it break. Like, that messes up the parts. Hasn't anybody ever told you that?" And I was like, "I've never heard that." So I was like, oh my god. Like, how do you expect to do any business treating people like that? And I've had a couple other women treat me, not to that extreme, but with that kind of a tone. I don't like it. So that sucks. It's like, you shouldn't assume that you shouldn't assume that young guys are incompetent. That's annoying. Anyway, okay, so let me talk about changes so I don't keep rambling on. So, physical stuff. The most pronounced change that I've had in the last couple months is that, so not only have my upper body muscles gotten bigger, but also the muscles in my thighs and butt have gotten bigger, which means that my pant size has gone up 1 or 2 inches, kind of more like 1 inch. But, you know, you can usually only get pant sizes 2 inches bigger. So I had been a 34 or sometimes even a 33, but now I'm kind of more like a 35, but I have to get 36 pants. That sucks. Just mentally, psychologically, that really sucks. And then it's a pain to have to get new pants. I mean, the khaki pants that I wear to work, I have like 9 of them in various colors. All the exact same, like, model or whatever you call it, because I found a kind of pants that I really like. They're all the same, and now I have to get different ones, even though I had enough pants to last me for like 10 years. That sucks. Although I haven't been working out quite as much as I would hope to do lately, so maybe in the next month or so, when I have more free time and I'm able to work out more, maybe I'll lose a little bit, but I can tell that the muscles have grown. It's not just that I'm getting fatter. Yeah. So, what else? I've gotten a ton of new shirts, because as I said before, I've gone up a shirt size. And so I used to, like, pre-transition, I would only wear size small, never a medium shirt. But now, I'm pretty much never a size small, pretty much always medium. And I got a jacket that's a size large. So that's crazy. And then other changes, body hair growth just continues. Same old story. The most dramatic increase of body hair has been my inner thighs and also lower legs. And it's also quite noticeably different, well, on my stomach. It's not really dramatic enough to show you, plus you won't have anything to compare it with, so I'll wait for comparisons. And then on my arms and hand, I can see a difference. Of course, you can't see it in the video, really. It's not to that extent yet. No. But I can see a difference. Wait, yeah, I think you can see some hairs there, because before, if I did that, you would not be able to see any hairs. So it's on my fingers and hand here. And I think that's cool. I like it. I like looking at my hands, and my hands continue to look more, like, strong and masculine, so I like that. And, I don't have any visible increase of any fuzz on my chest at all. And I do have more facial hair as time goes on. It's still certainly never enough to see from this distance, but I can definitely see an increase. And if you're in person looking at me, looking with a certain light, you can see some fuzz. It's kind of all around the whole chin area, and then there's some significant stuff, but still pretty light, on my upper lip, and then a little bit on the sides, but it's light. So I shave 2 or 3 times a week, so that I don't obviously look like a teenage boy. Other things, my sex drive continues to be, like, what's the word? Exponentially higher than pre-T. Like, no comparison. Dramatically higher. And I can only wonder what it would be like if I were not on Celexa. Because a long time ago when I started on Celexa, when I was way pre-T, that really lowered my sex drive. So I'm still on Celexa, but I have a huge sex drive. So if I was off of Celexa, that would be intense. So, difference in my face. My face does look a bit different than pre-T. I don't notice much of a dramatic difference, or I don't notice differences like week to week or month to month, but some other people have told me that they do. Someone said that an acquaintance said that she almost didn't recognize me, which was crazy. Um, oh, about the face. So my eyebrows are getting more substantial. Might have to look into trimming methods. I don't know how to do that and have it not look really weird. Nose hairs are longer. I feel like I mentioned that in a previous video, so I have to monitor that and, like, check regularly, like, are any sticking out? I hate to think about how that will be in 40 years. And body odor. I had said in maybe my last tea update video that I didn't think that my body odor was really that different, but by this point I've concluded that it is. It's definitely worse. Now, well, I have good deodorant, so this region is nothing to worry about, really. But, like, lower down, like, yeah, it's not good. Even though I'm always a neat and clean and tidy person, it's still kind of troublesome. And related to that, I do sweat more than pre-T. Not drastically more, but a bit more. And other things. Energy. My energy tends to be good. I'm satisfied with my level of energy. And it is higher than my energy level pre-T, which I like, because I had kind of a low energy level before. And, is there any other physical stuff? Not really, it's just a continuation of everything else. So my mood has been good on my transition, especially in the last couple months after I got onto a dose of testosterone that's more reasonable for me, because I started out on what I discovered was too high of a dose. So now I'm on 50 milligrams per week, intramuscular injection, and that's a good dose for me, it seems like. And I've been doing the injection in the butt muscle, because it just got too painful and way too, like, it tripped me out way too much psychologically to do it in my thigh. For whatever reason, it's psychologically easier to do it in the butt muscle. Oh yeah, another physical thing. So, since I got on a dose of testosterone that is healthy rather than way too high, my period has been back pretty much every month. Sometimes much lighter than normal, but currently not that much lighter than normal, which is disappointing, and it makes me uncomfortable. So we'll see how things go over time. I don't know if it'll gradually stop over time or what. I don't know how that works. I hope it goes away soon. I don't want to have to deal with that until I eventually get a hysterectomy. Anyway, so I had been saying my mood is good. I think that's partially due to being on T because of the raised energy and maybe decreased mood swings. Yeah, like, I had the most horrible PMS in terms of mood and psychology. Oh my god. Like, I would just be anxious and confused and panicking and freaking out purely for physical hormonal reasons, not due to dysphoria. So I don't really have that, which is a godsend. And I just feel better emotionally on T in general. Like, I haven't been crying that much I feel like maybe I'm less likely to cry than I was pre-T. I don't have many feelings about that. I don't have much to say about that at this point. Um, and part of my good mood is just because of where I'm at in my life, like that I've accepted myself and I'm living in such a way that's true to myself. That makes a huge difference in my mood and my life outlook. Way more of a difference than I would have expected. Like, I have more of a, like, fighting spirit where I feel like I want to stand up for myself and not give up on anything in particular, or just life in general. So that feels really good. And I also feel more confident when it comes to speaking and putting forth my point of view, like at work with my colleagues. I have an easier time talking and telling my opinion than before. And again, that's maybe a little bit from being on T, but probably a good part of it is just from the decisions, like accepting myself and not hiding myself and that kind of thing. And what else? Just a last tiny bit before I stop. So, related to mood, I feel a little bit more aggressive. I felt this way for several months. It's like I want to wrestle. Like I want to find a friend to wrestle with. I just have this energy that I feel can only be gotten out or expressed through something kind of aggressive. I don't mean violent or like beating people up or yelling. I just mean even play aggressive, like play wrestling. Um, yeah. And I also feel more likely to, I guess, a little bit more likely to be verbally assertive, I would say. I wouldn't quite say aggressive. Assertive, which is good because I've lacked assertiveness in the past. I feel more at ease just with telling it like it is. Like, if a student in my class is on the road to failing, I have an easier time telling them, like, yeah, looks like you're gonna fail. Maybe here are some things you can do. Whereas before, I would be nervous about telling somebody something they didn't want to hear. So, I feel good having more assertiveness. I guess I'm just less afraid of what people think. Yeah. And then, again, part of that is just due to the decisions I've made that validate myself in life, and part of that is probably due to being on T, because it gives me more energy, and it does give me more of a, like, animal, assertive slash aggressive type of energy. Although, I don't want people to jump on that and say, oh, T makes you into a horrible, savage, mean man. No, I have control. I'm not beating anybody up. I do not want to beat anybody up. The only reason I'm mentioning that is because I've heard stereotypes from so many people saying that trans guys get, like, roid rage when you go on T. And that is really not always true. We're human beings. We have control. So I just want to refute that stereotype. Because I'm not angry. I just have energy. So I'll bring it to a close. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching. I always appreciate your comments. Thanks. Bye.